I'm my own worst enemy. Have you imagined that to look a little something like this? Seriously? Well, usually life's a little less Tom and Jerry than that. So quite often it looks a little more like this. Oh, she has such beautiful hair. I wish my hair was like that. My curl pattern's so tight. She's really confident. I wish I could be that confident. Confidence is something you're born with. That's not me.
This is so cool. If I meet these goals, I could actually do a Cuba holiday. But it's not gonna happen. I'm just not good at saving money. That's just not me.
That's right, folks. The tides of your happiness, success, and self-concept rise and fall on your self-talk. Self-talk is that inner conversation we have with ourselves almost all the time. It's the voice of that internal narrator. I don't quite remember when I first became aware of my internal voice, of the quality of my self-talk, but I do know that when I first started to really pay attention to it, I was quite alarmed at how negative that inner voice often was. Could you imagine tolerating some of the things you say to yourself from a friend? I really hope you'd end that friendship because that would not be healthy. But you can't really end your relationship with yourself. And constantly taking in those negative messages and that constant negative self-talk can lead to every task or goal that you set for yourself becoming an uphill battle. It results in some pretty limiting self-beliefs. For most of us, the voices of our self-talk mirror early experiences or messages from our childhood. And not to put any parents on blast, they're often just constantly amplifying echoes of messages we received, sometimes from our parents. For example, my mom, I love her, often commented a lot on tasks that I didn't complete. She never spent a lot of time talking about the things that I saw to fruition. And when, a lot later in my life, early adulthood, I decided to do online study and pursue distance learning, she said, Are you sure? You don't really have the discipline for something like that. And partly as a result of that, one of my constantly recurring adult narratives is, ooh, this is going to be overwhelming. I lack the organizational skills and discipline to really make this work. Is this something that I should even take on? Maya, do you have an example? Promise.
Wow, Mom. I remember one time we were having a conversation about a Gwen Stefani music video that I had just seen. I was mentioning to you how she fetishizes Asians and that often goes overlooked. I used a slur that I didn't actually know was a slur. And your reaction was kind of judgmental. You went, wow! And that kind of feeds into this narrative that now I talk to myself in a way that makes me feel as though I can't make mistakes.
Sorry, Maya. So how do you get those voices in your head to be on your side? Well, the first step requires that you become aware of the narratives that are central to your script. Do you have any self-limiting beliefs? Do you have any negative narratives running about something that you really want to do? Something you just feel you're just not good at? Something you really fixed mindset about? I'm bad at math. This is not the kind of thing that I should do. I'm just not great at finances. I can't possibly take part in that. That's not the kind of person I am. I'm really shy. What are those voices saying to you? Where do they come from? Now that you know what you're in a toxic relationship with, it's time to break up. You need to reframe the words that you use to talk about these things to yourself. Some people find affirmations really helpful in this.
I can do math. I'm the best at math. I'm amazing at math. And I will pass.
But if what you want is to really change the language you use to reflect how you want to feel about yourself in relation to this task, it's often really helpful to back it up with using positive framing to talk about what you need to do in order to accomplish something, or how you need to shift the way you're doing things to support you in this task.
You know, You definitely have the potential to be good at math. And you really can do it. You just need to ask mom and dad to hire you a tutor and maybe study a bit more. And if you do that, you will pass with flying colors.
The best piece of advice I've ever received from a therapist was this one. You need to collect a journal of evidence to counter the limiting beliefs you have about something. Because what the thinker thinks, the prover proves. Lots of people already undertake journaling for different reasons. A journal of evidence specifically says that you need to take note of the things that you do that disprove the negative narrative that you're currently running, possibly without any evidence. For example, when I felt that I was not disciplined or lacked organizational skill, my daily journal of evidence would reflect all of the things that proved that this was not the case. So, for example, I submitted all the assignments necessary and I wrote my final exams in my penultimate year of my undergrad study, even while going through all of the physical challenges of being heavily pregnant with my second child. I successfully trained for and completed 2 long-distance cycle races. All that stuff requires discipline. When the evidence starts to stack up, your unconscious mind has no choice but to consider and accept it and shift the narrative. Now, all this doesn't mean being enabling of your bad behavior or overlooking changes that you genuinely need to make to do better in a certain area or to achieve a goal. But you can hold yourself accountable using healthy self-talk. So, be aware of what you're saying to yourself. Words and language really do matter. And sometimes your self-talk, parents and teachers, can be contagious. Reframe. Shift your language to reflect who you are and what you need to do to achieve what you want to, rather than what you're not, or those fixed perspectives that are often baseless and false around things that you want to accomplish. Journal evidence that supports all of the positive traits you possess, that records all of the ways in which you've demonstrated just how capable, confident, and worthy you are. So what's the quality of your self-talk like at the moment? What ways have you found to help yourself shift those narratives and get yourself on your own side? Are you aware of what it is you're saying to yourself? How do you want to feel about yourself? And how can you make your self-talk help you? Share your thoughts in the comments below and make sure to click like and to share this video if you found it helpful and if it's something that you'd like to engage with a little more. Next time, we're talking self-confidence. If this is something that you want to hear a little more about and have some thoughts on, then tune in next week. Don't forget to click subscribe and to share this video if you think it may be helpful to other people. See you soon.